Hi everybody, I'm Irina and welcome to episode 5 of Stories with the Shepherdess. Hey! Long time no chat. Lots has been happening. So I last checked in right before we went to Scotland. That was a whirlwind trip and I did pick up some goodies while I was there. It was really lovely just getting to connect with customers and it was just a really fabulous time. So I will link to blog posts about our time in Scotland below if you would like to read more. I don't want to bore you with vacation stories. So let's move on to flock talk. Lots has been happening on the farm. We have just been working our tails off all summer. It has been crazy, to say the least. We are very excited to be taking Pippa, our Wensleydale lamb. She was our bottle lamb who was in the shop with us for quite some time. We'll be taking her to Rhinebeck to be part of the breed barn display. And I believe my mum will be giving a talk on rare breed British long wools while she's there. We will also have a booth with some of our flock yarn, which we just got back from the mill. So this is going to be part of Flock Talk because it's about the sheep. So this is some of our Teeswater. Isn't it gorgeous? The mill did a top-notch job. So we also got back some white North American Wensleydale from Pete, Penny, and Charlotte. And we got back some natural black Wensleydale from Orla, Marley, and Athena. But that's kind of it for Flock Talk. I know that was kind of short. There just hasn't been a lot happening. It's just really been like Sheep City. Just the daily, chores. So, all right, so moving on to what's on my needles. Okay, so what's on my needles? I am working on the Willapa cardigan. It was designed by Annie Rowden for Brooklyn Tweed Wool People 12. Here's the back. It's gonna have a really, really deep shawl collar, so it's just a really basic stockinette stitch, and I'm working on my garter edge right now. So that will be really fun. The yarn is Ginger Twist Studio Masham Mayhem 4-ply. I picked it up in Edinburgh this summer, and the color is It Might As Well Be Spring. So this is a 75 Blueface Leicester 25 Masham blend, and so as you know, I love long wools and it's hand dyed, so there's just a little bit of variegation in it and it is just absolutely gorgeous. So excited for that. So that's really all that's on my needles right now. I am still working on my Gretna jumper. I will have it finished at some point. Yeah, I had a ton of other knitting projects that just kind of got, swept in and I got distracted. But I really only have my sleeves left on my Gretna jumper and then I just have to seam it. So I am almost done, which is the sad thing. I should really just stick to it and get it finished. But that's what's on my needles, and let's move on to my recently finished objects. This is the Gathering Place cowl that I designed for Knitters Day Out. It is a really fun pattern for knitters of any level. If you're a more advanced knitter, it's interesting enough to keep you going and without kind of feeling like, oh my gosh, another round of, whatever. But for a beginner knitter, it's not intimidating because it really is just knit 2, purl 2s. So this is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun designing it. The buttons I feel like are a nice feature, and I think it looks really, really sharp when you put it on. So it does sit up a bit higher, but there is an option to make a double wrap, but I just think that looks really chic. So that is the Gathering Place cowl, and you can find this pattern on Ravelry. I will put the download link in the description below. It is really fun, and I've designed it so you can knit it on DK or worsted weight. So the size needles are US 7s, and it gives you either a dense worsted fabric like I have here, or alternatively, it gives you kind of a nice lightweight DK fabric. So I'm planning on making one out of Yorkshire Medley for the upcoming show seasons too. So it's the Gathering Place cowl. I hope that you enjoyed making it as much as I enjoyed designing it. Next up, whilst I was in Scotland, I needed something to keep my interest that was not my Gretna jumper. I could not imagine doing cables while I was traveling. So I worked on the summer fling bag. It was by Espace Tricot, which is a yarn shop in Montreal. And so it just takes 2 skeins of Quince Co Sparrow, and it's just really, really lovely. The pattern calls for you to Kitchener stitch your 2 straps together. I did a 3 needle bind off because I find that to be a little bit more, it's just a bit stronger. And surprisingly, even though it looks quite small, it fits 2 kilos of yarn in it because I had to do a test. So I did actually use this as my bag for quite a bit of time when I was done with it, and now I have it in as a shop sample. So this is my summer fling bag, and I used Quince Co Sparrow in the colors Venice, which is the bottom dark purple, and Birch, which is the top light blue. So that was a lot of fun to knit. And my last finished object is my Selby cowl. This is a design that I released a few weeks ago. It takes 2 skeins of our Yorkshire Medley, and I started designing this while we were at Vogue Knitting Live, New York City. So depending on, what you're wearing, you can have your one color out or you can have your other color out. And so I started designing this at our Vogue 2017 show, and so many people were just like, where's that pattern? Where's that pattern? I want that pattern. And I was so determined to get it done by that February. And I just couldn't. I just got so busy with school. So I buckled down and I finished it, and it went so fast once I got into the swing of things. So you can also find this pattern on Ravelry. I will link once again to the pattern in my description, and this also is a super fun knit, if I do say so myself. And if you don't feel comfortable picking out colors, we have actually put together little color sets that I will link to those on our website. So we've just kind of given you our thoughts on what colors we think would look well together. If you don't feel comfortable picking out 2 contrasting colors that coordinate at the same time. So this is my Selby cowl. It is really nice because it is double thick, so it's knit in the round and therefore super, super, super warm. So it's going to be perfect for the upcoming winter days. And that is my final finished object. So I'm going to move on to shop happenings. For shop happenings, we are spending our 3rd year vending at Rhinebeck, the New York State Sheep and Wool Festival. We're very, very, very excited for that. And we have a 2018 exclusive Rhinebeck colorway, again coming at you in our Yorkshire Medley yarn. So introducing Busby Harvest. This color isn't really great, so I'll attach a photo now. So Busby Harvest is just inspired by all things autumnal, and it's warm and it's cozy and it's perfect as an accent or as a standalone. So we're very excited. We have a limited amount of these, so if you would like to grab a Busby Harvest of your own, you can come visit us in Building 36, Booth 19. So we are between Heal My Hands as our neighbor to the door, and then we've got a new neighbor beside us. I'm not quite sure who they are yet, but find the Heal My Hands and you'll find us if you've never been to Rhinebeck before. So yes, very excited for that. We will also have our newest batches of flock yarn, as I had said before, and you can find my mom in the breed display barn. In her spare time, she organizes the whole breed display barn, so she will be running that weekend as well, and we will have Pippa, our bottle lamb, there. So if you missed a chance to see Pips while she was in the yarn shop, or you've been following her on Instagram, you can go say hello. She loves back scratches, and so go visit Pips. And we also will be having 2 new Wensleydales who will also be with us, and they are brand spanking new. We purchased them from a breeder out in Oregon, and so she's delivering them to us at Rhinebeck. So I think we're going to have a little name competition, a naming competition, because I don't believe that they have names. I think they're just numbers because they have huge breeding stocks. So that will be quite fun. So go visit that, and I believe that is Building 28. That sounds correct. I'll figure that out and put it in the show notes below. November is our 9-year anniversary. So we opened almost 9 years ago on Black Friday at 6 a.m. as an alternative to big business. And people started arriving at 10 a.m., which is totally cool because it also gave us a concept of what our hours should be. and so that's why we open at 10 at the yarn shop now. But so even though Flying Fibers has been in existence way longer than 2009, 2009 we celebrate our anniversary in that month because that's when we officially opened our bricks and mortar store and kind of found a home instead of traveling around. So come celebrate with us. The Friday and the Saturday we'll be kind of doing a long anniversary weekend celebration because it also happens to be Small Business Saturday that Saturday. So we'll be doing events on Friday and Saturday. We'll be having deals and specials just to celebrate and thank all of you all for patronage over the years. So come out and say hello. If you don't know where our yarn shop is, but you're interested in visiting, you can find us at 329 Main Street in Landisville, Pennsylvania. So we're very excited. Of course, we always love our anniversary, and Small Business Saturday is so fabulous. So that's November, and I think that is it for November. I think we don't have anything too exciting happening other than that. And then in December, on December 15th, we'll be welcoming back Ann Weaver for a second round of her Flying Weaver event. And so she will be teaching Fair Isle for All, which still has a few spaces left. If you want to sign up, I will link to that below. And also Color Theory and Log Cabin Knitting, and that is sold out. But we are super excited to be welcoming her back. She had such a great response in March when she was here, and we love Anne. She is awesome. So if you're interested, if you're in the Harrisburg, Lancaster, York, Dauphin area and you'd like to take a class with Ann Weaver, I will link below, and because there is still a few spaces in her Fair Isle class. But I think that is really all that is happening. It doesn't feel like a lot, but I think it is a lot. It's one of those things. But thank you all for listening to me natter on for quite some time, and I hope you all have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Thank you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for following along with our video podcast Stories with the Shepherdess. If you would like to stay updated, you can follow us on Instagram at Flying Fibers, or you can follow either of our Facebooks, Flying Fibers for our yarn shop in Landisville, Pennsylvania, or Flying Fibers Flock to keep updated with happenings on the farm. Thanks so much!